All right, well, I'm gonna try not to pour as quite as much on here this time, but I did.
But he did.
Not good with a pour, and I know I'm gonna regret this.
Let's
I'm gonna
go.
sip a little bit first.
Hey everyone, welcome to Hot Shots. I'm your host, Lindsay Bettis. We are here in downtown Sanford at the Spice is Nice, and today I have a very special guest, Seminole County royalty, Ken Kelly. He is the Director of Player Development at the Altamonte Baseball Academy. So welcome, Ken.
It's great to be here, Lindsay. Thank you.
I'm excited to interview you. I don't know how your heat tolerance is, but we're gonna find out, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't know how it is either. This should be very interesting.
Well, let's go ahead and get things warmed up before we kick off our first question.
Oh, great.
So the first sauce that we're gonna try right off the bat is the sendy sauce. It says it's a weak send, which, do you know what send it means?
Nope.
That's fine. We're gonna send it right now, but it's not gonna be too bad, all right? And this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes when they're chunky, they're scarier because that means I'm just getting like a hot pepper.
May I? Thank you. Okay.
All righty, here we go. That wasn't too bad, right?
No, that
A
wasn't too
mild
bad.
start.
A nice kick to it.
It does have a nice kick to it.
Is chili,
Is that a little bit scary, knowing that that's number one?
Yes, but it's got a little chili taste to it. I think
Exactly.
It's very good.
Well, on that note, I'd love to hear more about the Altamonte Baseball Academy. Tell me more about it and how you all got to be World Series champions.
Well, I think I'll start with the first question, which is easier, which is the Academy was formed in over the 2014-2015 season. We actually opened 10 years ago. In 2015, it was a collaborative effort between the city of Altamonte Springs, particularly the Mayor Bates, and then Frank Martz, the city manager, and his staff, Shelley Noft, headed by Shelley Noft and Rochelle Krosky, and a lot of other people, a lot of baseball people who got together and said, listen, we'd like to create an academy, have it be different than a lot of the other academies, but also have it be part of the Babe Ruth program, which is what the city was affiliated in. And they ended up spending $4.2 million to renovate a facility and hire staff, build buildings, and we're moving into our 11th year. We started with about 200 kids, and now we have about 700 kids.
That's amazing.
So we've had really good growth every year, and it's a compliment to our staff. I think we have a very, very good staff. We have 18 guys who, most of them played professional baseball or were college coaches or are current high school coaches. So we're very big on instruction, and I think that the word has slowly gotten out, and just it's word of mouth advertising. As for how we became world champions, that's a lot of hard work. Lake Mary went through the same thing. I'm sure their coach would say the same thing. Your kids have to buy into what you're trying to teach them. You know, they have to be committed to what the time and the discipline and the energy and the effort they have to put in. You know, this group that we have has been together mostly since they were 8 years old. And they played in the 9U World Series, 10U World Series, and they won the 11U World Series. And they'll go again to a World Series next year, which is, I think, very unusual for any team to go to 4 straight World Series.
Yeah, I mean, it must show the strength of your team to be able to continue that streak of success over that long period of time. And especially, I feel like young ones can be so difficult to keep motivated. At least me. That might have not, these kids might not have that problem, but I know me, I tried a bunch of different sports and quit after each one. And now I'm here hosting a hot sauce show. So you saw where my trajectory took me. Yeah. I love this. But no, I love when kids get committed to a certain sport and they see it through all the way. And regardless if they end up playing it professionally or just recreationally, it's so good for character development, which I'm sure that you see as well.
Yeah, well, we absolutely, you learn life skills through playing baseball, and you learn to deal with adversity and how to make an effort, but it's a safe environment.
Right.
So while you're learning it, you're also there's no penalties for not doing things correctly. And you learn, like I said, can you cope with defeat? What do you need to do to have to be successful? All that translates into their schoolwork, their future work. It's creating good habits. So, and for most kids who play baseball, the reality is that their baseball career is going to end long before they start thinking about a job.
Right.
So if we can build those habits and those work habits in, and they understand how to be accountable and be disciplined, then we've done something that's extremely good for them as they move on in other areas of their lives.
I love that. Well, let's dive into sauce number 2 on that note. This one's Fat Cat Peach Maple Bourbon. And it says it's perfectly good. Do you have any cats, Ken?
Yes.
Do you really?
Yes, we actually have a Persian whose name is Jasper.
Oh my
Who
goodness.
is now 6 months old.
Oh, he's still a baby. I just know he's beautiful.
I'll make sure to show you a picture of him.
Yes. Hopefully he's not fat yet.
Not yet.
My cat's fat already, so here we go. So
Well, that one's not as hot as the first one.
you just wait. Sometimes they get you a few minutes later. But I'd love to hear more about your role as Director of Player Development. What does that entail?
Well, I oversee all the programs. We have all-stars, we have a league, we have kids who are playing starting at age 4 in our T-ball program. I always tell people this because it's absolutely true. The guys who coach the T-ball, they're all going to pass straight to heaven because I can't deal with those kids. They drive me out of my mind.
It's a special
They have zero attention. It takes a very special person, and we're very fortunate because all our league coaches are volunteers, and these guys and women are great at what they do. And but once they get to about 7 and 8, that's where I start to be more involved, and we go up to age 18. So it's a full spectrum. We play on these tiny little fields with these tiny little kids and end up playing on a regulation 60, 90 foot fields and the 300 foot fences. And it's a lot of fun, but we do clinics and we do what's called early work and we do camps at an incredibly low price. I mean, one of the great things that the city has done, and this is from our Mayor Bates, all the way down to the commissioners, to the city manager, is they've made it affordable for the people in the community. And it's one of the great things about being in a relatively small community. It's tight-knit, and people are very sensitive to the needs, particularly at our government. They're very sensitive to the needs of the community. And for instance, if you play T-ball and you live in the community, you pay nothing.
That's amazing.
You get a uniform, you get coaching, you play 8 or 10 games, and there's no charge for that at all. And most of our stuff is significantly less expensive than comparable programs. And what I would say is that it's a great opportunity for people to learn how to play the game the right way. And that's what we focus on. We focus on very simple things, trying to teach kids to play the game the right way.
I love that. And I know sports and different extracurriculars can be cost prohibitive for a lot of families. So I love that this is something that's an affordable option for everyone to participate. It's like we were saying, there's so many life skills just beyond the sport. So I know that you all are changing a lot of lives within the community, and we appreciate everything that you all are doing.
It seemed like I struggled with that last answer is because this stuff does have a...
Yeah, you got that after kick? Wait, I hope that we get one that makes you hiccup, because that means that it's like actually too hot
I really
for you.
don't want to hiccup on TV, but that's...
Let's move to sauce number 3. So this one is the 24 karat gold. So this one's actually a collaboration between Hotter Than L, which is made here in Sanford, and the Seminole County Tourism Board. So it was made specifically for this show.
Wow.
And so this one on the hotness scale is about a 5. So we're about halfway there.
And I probably poured way too much on my loaves.
I love it.
Well, that's got a much more immediate kick, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a big jump from those two, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I'd love to know.
It's good though.
Yeah, it is really good.
Time will tell.
Exactly. You might start sweating in a few minutes, or you might already be sweating. Who knows? But the camera, does wonders for you. Just kidding. No, it shows every single detail. But I'd love to know, with winning the World Series, I was reading that you all, the first game did not go the way you all wanted it to. That was unfortunately the first loss in that series. How did you get them to continue and be resilient to continue to move forward and then to eventually win?
Well, first of all, I'm blessed with a really great group of kids. Secondly, I've got 2 really good assistant coaches, and Kevin Stephenson and Justin Harris. Both of them are local guys who played locally in high school. Both played in college, and then Justin was a pro player. And I think that they're really upbeat all the time. They're very positive, which is pretty much the opposite of me, because I'm always critical in a positive way, but critical of our kids because I'm trying to make them aware of what they need to do to be successful. And that's sort of my 24-hour-a-day job, regardless of who I'm coaching in our program. But the answer to the question is, the All-Star team was 20-1, and the team itself overall was 44-4. And it was the only loss we had, and it was to the defending world champions on their turf.
Wow.
And I think it's the first game, and I think there was a little bit of nerves. We played our second game and won 1-0. Liam Rustin threw a complete game shutout, and we faced a guy who was better than anybody we had seen the entire year and managed to score a run and won that game 1-0. And I think that was huge for our confidence. And after that, we sort of got on a roll. I think we ended up outscoring in the 8 games, outscoring the other team. It was like 57-13 or something. And overall, we just got better and better and better as the tournament played out. The championship game was against the defending national champions who would beat us the first game. And they scored first, but we really pretty much controlled the game. We have a bunch of kids who absolutely love to play, which is important. And we have guys who, we have speed, we have power, we have very good defense, and they know how to play the game the right way.
That's awesome.
It's a tribute to them. They bought into being on a field 5 days a week, and when we play on weekends, 7 days a week. They'll do the extra work. I'm very proud of them, and I'm happy for the community and what they were able to accomplish.
I love that it was a full circle moment from losing to that team and then coming back and facing that team in the championship game to win the entire thing.
Yep.
Such a beautiful story and so full circle.
Yeah, and again, it's just, I think that when I watched like Mary play in the Little League World Series, I saw a lot of commonalities between the two teams, even though the two games are different. When I was asked about it in another interview earlier this year, I said, I think that they're going through the same process we did, which is you grow, you continue to work, you continue to grind, and you eventually get the results. I think our Florida kids work really hard to do that.
I love that. And on that note, we'll go to something a little darker, Ghost Tonic. So this one's actually rated a number 6, and it is a local Orlando brand. Looks like a scary bottle. I always judge the sauces off of the bottle. This one's a ghost.
This looks like a medicine bottle.
I know. I guess it's like, oh, and that's a scary sign when it's chunky, because that means it's, actually don't know what that means, but to me it means that it's spicier and it has a ton of peppers in it.
Well, it's the 4th out of 5, and if this is going up in scale, then yeah, I guess it's going to be high.
So this one's rated a 6.
Oh, well, that's not going to be bad.
Which is not going to be a huge jump from number 5, but that is, not based on my hotness scale, because I would probably start at like a 3. All right, you ready?
Sure.
All right.
Cheers. I didn't think that was so bad. I thought this was hotter.
Yes.
Initially.
So that wasn't such a huge jump, but what makes me nervous is that we're going to go next from a 6 to a 9.
So you're going to go next from a 6 to a 9?
Yes. So we're going to go skip a few levels for our last one. But before we get there, I know you and I were talking beforehand about the difference between Little League and the Cal Ripken World Series. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about the differences between the two leagues.
Okay, well, Cal Ripken is a division of Babe Ruth. And basically from age 4 to age 12 is Cal Ripken, and then Babe Ruth is 13 and up. And the difference at our level as 11 and 12-year-olds between Little League and Cal Ripken is we play what's called open bases. Bases are 70, home to first base is 70 feet. Your base runners can take leads. Pitchers have to hold runners. Whereas in Little League, and one is not better than the other, they're just two slightly different games. They're both baseball. It's 60-foot bases, so it's a little smaller, and you can't take leads, so it's called closed bases. Pitchers don't have to worry about holding runners. It's much harder to play, I think, what I love to play, which is called small ball, where you bunt a lot, and you bunt and steal, and you hit and run because of the size of the field and not being able to take leads in Little League. I mean, I love Little League baseball. I watch. I'm tuned into the World Series every year, but they're just two very different games.
Okay, well, that's very interesting and something I didn't know beforehand before we came here. And I have to say, I love my job because I'm sitting here sweating and panicking, and you get to do all the hard work for me. How's your mouth feeling after that ghost tonic?
I'm actually going to get a little drink of water. That one's got a nice
I don't know if it helps.
long-term kick.
I don't know if it helps to talk through it or to stay silent through it, but I feel like I have the easier end of the stick right now. So did you grow up playing baseball?
Oh yeah, I grew up. I played in Little League. I played through college, and I was a Division III baseball coach when I was 23, and a Division I baseball coach when I was 25, and then I retired from coaching in 2010. My son got a scholarship to play at Stetson, and my wife gave me an ultimatum, which is at the time we were living in Illinois. I was coaching in Illinois. And she gave me an ultimatum, and typical lawyer. She goes, well, we're moving to Florida. I go, why? And she goes, because Thomas just signed to play baseball with Stetson, which is the last place on earth I thought he was going to go. I thought he was looking more to the West Coast, but I said, yeah, that's great, but we never talked about moving before. And he's our only son, so she said, well, basically you have two choices. You can stay here or you can get divorced. You can get divorced or you can go to Florida. So I said, well, we're moving to Florida. So,
I love it. And probably the best decision you ever made, right? Like how great is Florida?
Absolutely.
But then,
listen, I love Florida. So.
And how long have you lived here now?
We moved here in 2010.
Okay, so you've experienced a few hurricanes. I know we just had one, so you're not a newbie to the hurricanes. Just want to make sure that.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we had hurricanes when we were in Jersey. We got hit by a huge hurricane. I was there. I was coaching in Jersey.
That's true.
So, but
Besides hurricanes,
I don't look forward to
great
hurricanes.
place.
Yeah, sure.
Beautiful place.
Absolutely. There's no question Florida's a great place.
I love it. All right.
Now we're going to the last one.
We're gonna go ahead and go to the last one. My mouth's already burning, so I'm hoping that like helps out, that it's like a little bit numb already.
Okay.
Probably won't, but we'll see. This one's a New York City brand. It's called Peppers Up. And this skeleton is eating a flaming pepper, which is never a good sign.
It's quite a graphic. Could be me before this is all over.
I know. That could be both of us.
All right, well, I'm trying not to pour as quite as much on here this time, but I did.
But he did.
I'm not good with a pour, and I know I'm going to regret this.
Let's
I'm going to
go.
smell a little bit first.
Look at his poker face.
Well, I'm going to say it's not that bad.
Really?
Yeah, it's hot, but it's not intolerably hot, which was what I was expecting. So, but if my tongue starts to swell and things afterwards, we'll know that I judged it incorrectly.
Well, since you're doing okay, we're going to give you the last words. So, growing up playing baseball and now giving back to these young kids that are playing baseball, what do you think is the #1 skill that they need to be successful in the sport and in life?
What I tell my kids, and I tell every group of kids that I get in front of, if I can teach you to listen and hear and process information, so when I'm talking to you about baseball or talking about whatever it is we're going to talk about, and you actually can take it in and process it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got me. That's probably the greatest skill I can ever teach you.
That's
Because that'll make you successful in the classroom, that'll make you successful in your business, and, working for other people, and hopefully when you establish your own business and work for yourself. So I think that's the greatest lesson that I can teach kids. It has nothing to do with baseball.
I love that so much. I know that you're changing so many lives within the community, and I don't wish this pain upon anybody right now, and I'm sorry that you had to experience today with this Peppers Up #9.
Well, this is fun.
But we had so much fun talking to you and learning from you, and we appreciate everything that you are doing for these kids in our community.
Well, it's my pleasure, trust me. And it is giving back, because I took a lot out from baseball for basically 45 years, and now I get the opportunity to give back in my 50 plus years of baseball. So,
Well, thank you so much. Ken Kelly, everyone, and we're going to go cool down.
thank you very much.
Ooh,
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah.
you're tough.
The last one got me in there again.
I know. When I also noticed,
By the way, it still is.
yeah.
It's a gift that keeps giving.